I'd say he's more centrist than either left or right. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's up to you.
When he
I
ran
mean,
for president
yeah. Well,
last time, and I think in '80, you said '88 or something,
oh, back in, yeah, okay.
or whenever.
Yep.
It was just Ron Paul struck me as someone who was very, very, very conservative.
Right.
That's what he struck me as. And looking up
sense.
libertarian, it says it ranges a wide spectrum of pro-property, anti-property, basically anti-state. That's what it said. I looked it up
Okay.
in Wikipedia.
Yep.
But for the most part, if you ask anybody about libertarian,
Right.
they think of Lyndon LaRouche back in the 70s and 80s. And LaRouche was, it was just no government at all. Kind of, just
Right.
just nothing.
Right. Okay.
Which,
Okay.
that's not
Okay.
going to work.
All right.
It doesn't.
Okay.
But
Well, I mean, it's just the stance that Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin, they took that stance. And when I was a kid, I was always taught that, that's how we were brought into being as a country. And that is how we were brought into existence. And, slowly over time, Congress and everybody, they passed bills that would grow government. I mean, just inherently by passing bills, you're going to grow government. So over the past 230 years, we've seen government grow, and all of the corporations and instruments that government has created. And that's, greatest example of you saying that Ron Paul is a conservative, and I agree with it, is he wants to abolish the IRS as well. No more income tax.
if he gets rid of income tax, does he have a plan in place that would take care of things that the income tax is paying for or taking care of?
No, he'd probably abolish a lot of the departments made.
But is he specific on what he would abolish?
Yeah, the Federal Reserve, IRS, the Department of Education, I believe that, I don't remember all of them, but Homeland Security.
That's the Homeland Security.
Abolish that. I mean, whatever, abolish that.
You don't think that?
Because the troops should be protecting our borders, not them. The troops should be protecting our borders. Our troops shouldn't be out there. We don't need border security or border patrol. We don't need that. We should have the Navy protecting the seas, the Army protecting the land. That's what it was there for. Well, people say it's an isolationist platform, but I guess it's really not. It's more like just be friendly with everybody.
That's impossible. Over the years, there's always been strife. There always will be.
Always, yeah. But we need to come back to it. We have 3 wars going on, or 2. There will be a 3rd, I assume, with Iran. But that's the point. We're spending money for helping out other countries. That's where all this comes from. Like, why would we do all that? It's not helping us in national security, as they say. Security would be protecting ourselves, not attacking people. It can be considered a radical view, but that's how the founding fathers were as well. I talked to my mom. She was like, she has no idea what is going on at all.
But you got to admit, your mom and I are like most people in this world. We may read a little book on economics,
right?
Macroeconomics, micro, but
yeah, that's why I'm making this, is to spread the information out, and especially to pass 1207.
When you say bailout, is it more of a loan like these banks get and they got to pay back the government?
Right, but how are they going to do it if they don't get any more
But aren't some banks
customers?
Aren't banks have paid off some of their bailout money too, if I remember right?
A few banks actually just paid it in full after like 2 weeks or something, something like that, which is good. Why would you want the government's money? But there are a lot of,
I think what you check.
Some people, some of the bailout money, it was supposed to be used to help the business, but they took that money to take vacations.
I remember that when that first happened, they were doing things like, "What are you doing with this?"
That's what made me mad.
But then they get caught. Like, what are you? It's like, what are you doing here?
Right.
like you said earlier, give us that money.
Right.
We'll
Yeah.
go take. If you're going to take vacation, I'm going to take
Yeah.
vacations.
We could. I mean, in theory, we were supposed to be spending money. You know, we were supposed to take debts or loans on credit cards or actual loans after the bailouts. As you know, we were supposed to take the loans, and then we were supposed to go spend the money. Why didn't we just get the money directly and spend the money? That would make more
Makes too
sense.
much sense.
Yeah.
That makes too much sense.
But even then, that's still wrong. The wrong way to do it. The Federal Reserve and the legislature shouldn't be involved in this at all. The market should just, you know, correct
But a
itself
lot of
within a
times,
year.
I think what they're doing, and I could be wrong,
Right.
it's just my opinion, they're helping the market hopefully correct itself with a little help.
No, they're just.
That's what I think. They didn't want to run, in my
No,
opinion, with the
because
bailouts.
basically, we're going to have to pay back those loans
Yeah.
with interest. So that's actually going to help the banks, not the economy as a whole. You see where that's why the bill would be so important. That's why we're so mad, because we don't even know which businesses got those. There was a yeah, they had a hearing on it last week,
Okay.
or was it 2 weeks ago, something like that. It was it was a week ago. Ron Paul led the charge, if you will, but yeah, it was in the financial committee, you know, with
Yeah.
Barney Frank. You know,
He's
he
on
was
the
head
House
of it.
one. He's the House.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the House.
Yep. So
Very smart man.
yeah, I guess the Fed balance sheet is now over $2.1 trillion.
Wouldn't doubt it.
It's huge. Yeah, there's 2 lawsuits plus this bill. There are 2
What's the
lawsuits
lawsuits?
against the Federal Reserve because of this stuff. Because they, you know, the Freedom of Information
Mission
Act,
Act.
right?
Oh yeah,
You
I've
know,
used it. I've used
You
it.
have? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Fox sued the Fed and Bloomberg sued the Fed, both for information about these businesses. And one, the Bloomberg one was won by Bloomberg. Yeah, won by Bloomberg, I believe, and the Fed is appealing that. And the Fox one was lost, so the Fox one is being appealed while this bill is in Congress, you know. So I just wanted to mention that. So everybody, please look into HR 1207. Please look into 3 websites I have listed. Campaign for Liberty, Daily Paul, well, maybe not so much Daily Paul, whatever.
Oh, why not?
It's just a lot of random, never mind.
Yeah.
CampaignForLiberty.com, DailyPaul.com, and FreedomWatchOnFox.com. Freedom Watch is a show hosted by Andrew Napolitano, the judge that I mentioned earlier. That is just imperative to watch. At least watch a couple of those episodes. And please read the Constitution. The Constitution is what built our country, and the government, you know, isn't really abiding by that. Today, just to reiterate, today's the 1st. We're taping this October 1st, and this will be posted on YouTube and live or on Danvers Cable, Danvers Community Access Television in Danvers, Massachusetts. So, thank you very much, and just want to leave you with one quote from Thomas Jefferson. And information is the currency of democracy. This is the basis of my show again. You know, the more information you get, the more informed you are, the better your opinion of the day, and the better your voting record. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Good one.